Alright, well, this is a quick walk around our S18 Shepherd auto feeder. This feeder is currently inducting mob lambs in a feedlot, and this machine's been in operation for quite some time here. But just a quick walk around to show you a few things quickly before we go in the box. Obviously it's solar powered. We have a 250 watt solar panel. We have a 1.2 metre wide roof, and we deliberately run the iron lengthways into gutted sections so it concentrates the water out onto the ground in certain spots. The reason for that is that we don't want water running off the roof sideways directly into the staple of wool, washing dirt and water into their backs all the time. Particularly if you are feeding ewes with one of these out in the paddock, you don't want to have your wool contaminated or increased risk of flies. So also, while we're up here, we've got a 4G remote camera that has the ability to pan around and zoom so you can have a look what's going on inside your feedlot, and also look in the trays to see what's actually happening and to see how many sheep are actually engaging with the feeder. Okay, so inside the box, just a quick walk around in here. First of all, it's obviously battery powered, and we have a heavy duty 12 volt motor with a gear induction gearbox. We've deliberately put in extra battery capacity, so if you wish to expand your power bank, you can put 2 more batteries in. You can also, you've got plenty of real estate on the roof up here to put more panels on as well. All of that's quite expandable onto the solar controller, which is the blue Victron controller we have here. Our timer module is quite easy to set. It's just a clock where you're setting the machine to turn on and off at various times, which is what actually controls the feeder. We have our main control system on-off, which is also a motor protection circuit breaker. We've designed the unit so that it has a choke right here, so that when the long section of tube, so if grain goes past the on-off sensor down the bottom here, the grain will choke in that section of pipe and it will increase current in the circuit, which then trips the watchdog so that you don't pump grain out onto the ground. Our SMS controller now is a new addition to the unit. So the SMS controller up here basically sends you texts when the motors turn on and off. It sends text when the voltage is low, also when the grain level in your bin is low. We can check the status of the unit at any time. We can remotely turn the machine on and off also, and currently we have it hooked up to our camera also so that it turns in on and off, so we can conserve power when we're not wanting to use that camera. All of these features now can be added to any of the Shepherds that we've already got out there, so they can you can have the luxury of that remote management. It's definitely peace of mind when you can't be in a feedlot all the time and you are feeding multiple feeds through the day. All right, just moving on down to our trade section. Obviously the feed runs straight down along the tray. It drops out either side of the tube into the sides, and then it comes down and it will end up hitting the proximity sensor down this end where it switches it off. We have adjustable brackets on the machine so that you can actually adjust your ration, how much it puts out in any one feed. So you lift the bracket up, it will fill the tray with a lot more grain, and so obviously you're giving them more feed. What I tend to do is actually run the feeder on a low setting and give them more regular feeds through the day, up until we get up to about 600 to 700 grams, and then we start to lift them and do regulating feeding sort of thing. Alright, so down this end we've got currently we've got a standard double-ended 1.7 tonne bin that we put on these machines so that you can put basically the machine on, hook it up to one end, and it will pull the grain out all the way down the tray. We can hook the Shepherds up to any of your bins, any lick feeders, any silos. There's a number of different boots we can put on to make sure we can pull grain into your feeder, and this particular bin has the option to put another machine out the other side if you wish to. It has the adapter standard on it so that you can pull grain out both sides. Down the centre of the bin actually is PVC casing with holes in it that allows like equal like it pulls the grain out equally across the bin so that you're not just pulling it out of one end. Okay, so that's our S1800 induction feeder. A bit of a fresh morning out here this morning, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed our video. Thanks.